How ancient Sumer and the Vedic world diverged. There's a hypothesis that ancient Sumer and the Indian Vedic civilization had a common ancestral source of knowledge that morphed into very different cultural traditions over time. Within the traditional Vedic chronology, the transition from the Dvapara Yuga to the Kali Yuga occurred in 3102 BCE. Some associate this period with major transformations and a decline in Dharma that unfolded across Asia. Around the same broad period, Sumer emerged as one of the world's earliest urban civilizations in southern Mesopotamia. By roughly 3500 to 3000 BCE, cities had begun to develop, and between 2600 and 2350 BCE, the Sumerian city-states dominated much of the life in the region. One of the most important of these cities was Uruk, which became the largest city in the world, with a population somewhere between 50 and 80,000. The rise of Sumerian urbanization was driven by geography. The area received a little reliable rainfall, making agriculture dependent upon extensive irrigation systems. These systems required coordinated labor, administration, and long-term planning. The flat river plains encouraged settlement along waterways, while agricultural surpluses generated the need for storage facilities, bureaucracy, and increasing complex social organization. The Indus Valley civilization, which flourished around the same time as Sumer, also developed along major river systems and is notable for its highly planned centers, including Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Further east and southeast, most of ancient India is often portrayed in traditional literature as a civilization of greater antiquity, characterized by a stronger spiritual orientation and a less urbanized social landscape. Even Hastinapur, the most prominent city described in the Mahabharat, is estimated to have had between 10 and 30,000 inhabitants at most. A small town by today's standards. For comparison, modern Delhi now exceeds 20 million residents. From a Vedic perspective, urbanization is not parallel with civilizational advancement. Traditional texts often associate excessive material development with declining spiritual consciousness. Consequently, vast modern megacities might be viewed as characteristic features of the Kali Yuga, an age marked by increasing materialism and social complexity. Religious outlooks in the two civilizations also appear quite distinct. Sumerian religion is often described as pragmatic and transactional, focused on maintaining favourable relations with sometimes unpredictable deities who governed both nature and society. There was no clear moral dualism comparable to the distinction between the pious devas and the impious asuras found in Hindu traditions. Among the many divine figures of Sumerian belief were the Annunaki, powerful deities whose presence is woven throughout Mesopotamian literature. Some modern interpreters have speculated that such figures may preserve distant memories of advanced or non-human influences on their societies. Despite differences, parallels do exist between Mesopotamian and Vedic traditions. Both preserve stories of an ancient flood remembered across multiple cultures in strikingly similar ways. Additional comparisons have been drawn between Sumerian temples and ziggurats and the Vedic concept of yajna, sacred fire ritual. Priestly classes, sacrificial traditions, astronomical observations, and symbolic architecture appear in both civilizations, although often in different forms. Some interpretations suggest that as populations migrated, cultures became more culturally distant from their source. Within this framework, the continuity of Vedic traditions is sometimes seen as weakening over time, a process associated with the influence of the Kali Yuga. And institutionalized slavery clearly existed in ancient Sumer, certainly a Kali Yuga trait. The most famous biblical chronology, calculated by James Ussher, places Adam and Eve around 4000 BCE. Interestingly, this falls broadly within the same era as the late Vedic and early Mesopotamian period. It is noteworthy that according to Genesis 2:10-14 of the Bible, The Garden of Eden was situated somewhere near the Tigris and Euphrates Rivers, as was ancient Sumer. Note that Genesis also mentions the Pishon River, not known to have existed in the Sumerian region. Some have suggested that the Pishon may have been the Indus River, citing the description of Havilah as a land rich in gold and precious stones, as well as extensive trade connections between Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley civilization. The dawning of the Kali Yuga is sometimes also linked to parallels between Adam and Eve and the figures of Adharma and Havyavati in the Hindu Bhavishya Purana. Rather than being understood literally as the first human beings, Adharma, a word meaning unethical disorder, and his partner are often interpreted as semi-historical representations of peoples that diverged from the Vedic cultural norms, perhaps combined with westerly migration. Interesting, isn't it? Well, thanks for watching.